Yo, what it do? What everybody out there, man? What's cracking lacking? All right, there we go. All right, hold up. All right, there we go. What's cracking lacking, man? Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. We are live here on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch, man, on this Thursday. Appreciate everyone tuning in, man. Was supposed to start about 15 minutes ago. Ordered some food. Never came. Had to get on customer service and everything. Thanks to, wifey and everything. So, yo, appreciate everyone tuning in. We are here. We are live, man. If you're new to the show and if you haven't done so already, before we get into some wrestle talk, man, definitely hit the like button down below. Like, follow, share, and definitely make sure, most importantly, you subscribe to the 1130 podcast right here on YouTube. Follow the 1130 podcast on Twitch, on all social media platforms, man, for real. You guys, man, what a week in wrestling. Yo, Shadow, what's going on, my guy? What's going on? Appreciate you joining the chat. Definitely everybody who's tuning in, definitely like the video, share the video, and let's get with it, man. Yo, here on this episode of Talk Pro Wrestling, man. Yes, the 1130 podcast Talk Pro Wrestling. On this week's episode, we're going to be chatting, man, about some wrestling hot takes in this past week in the world of professional wrestling. Of course, you guys, man, the new Netflix show, the new Netflix documentary series is out right now. If you guys haven't seen it, WWE's Unreal documentary series on Netflix has got a whole lot of mixed reviews, man, for real. Really great documentary, but we're going to be diving into that, reviewing some of WWE's Netflix, WWE's Unreal documentary on Netflix as well, you guys, man. SummerSlam, it's SummerSlam weekend. We know where all the wrestling fans are going to be. You know where I'm going to be. We definitely going to be live streaming. We put out dope wrestling content here at the 1130 podcast, man. So I'm the podcast that you definitely need to be subscribed to, man. And yeah, man, all things wrestling. Let's get with it, and we're gonna get into it. Like I said, SummerSlam, it's coming up this coming weekend, and there's a whole lot of stuff, man. I'm pretty intrigued about, though. But before we get to SummerSlam, man, I do want to say something. Obviously, we had one of the greatest, if not the great professional wrestlers of all time, man. Hulk Hogan passing away last week. WWE doing tributes on Raw and SmackDown, and of course on NXT this past Tuesday. And man, it sent out a whole lot of mixed reactions, man. And of course, from the community, I know I am, with Hulk Hogan, in 2015. And he made some, racist remarks, and, which I'm not going to repeat and everything like that. But I will say something positive, I guess, I mean, Hulk Hogan definitely, and I said it on the watch alongs, definitely Hulk Hogan was a guy who brought wrestling into the mainstream, around, 1985-ish. WrestleMania 1 was coming about. And, everybody who grew up, man, in the late 70s was watching wrestling, or even the 80s, man. Every single body loved Hulk Hogan. You love Hulk Hogan. If Hulk Hogan wasn't your guy, it was Macho Man. If it wasn't Macho Man, it was Ultimate Warrior, so on and so on, man. But, like I mentioned at one point when the whole Vince McMahon thing went down. And one thing that I will say, and a lot of people, agree with me, man, like a lot of us wouldn't be passionate wrestling fans that we are today, without Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, blazed the trail of professional wrestling and what we call sports entertainment and all that stuff like that. So I got to give my man his props, though. I'm gonna definitely give him his props, meaning Hulk Hogan, man, of what he accomplished in the world of sport. Now, yeah, when everything broke down in 2015, and of course WWE took him out of the Hall of Fame and everything like that, I was like, hey, look, and it was a private session, and they were recording them or whatever like that. Shit happens though. But to now all of a sudden, he's no longer here. And WWE doing tributes, and of course you've seen a whole lot of negative remarks and stuff, of course, about Hulk Hogan or whatever. Even non-wrestling fans knew who Hulk Hogan was. Yeah, to be honest with you, my son was sick a couple of weeks ago actually, and he was in a hospital, and then he said something about wrestling, and the nurse was like, "I don't know anything about wrestling. The only wrestling I know about is the wrestling from the '80s and stuff like that." So you can tell she probably wasn't the biggest wrestling fan, and if she, and anything she knew about, wrestling, if you said Hulk Hogan, everybody know who Hulk Hogan is. So, yeah, man. I mean, one of my funniest and greatest moments of all time with Hulk Hogan, man. Hulk Hogan came back to WWE in 2002. He was the red. He was actually not the red, white, and blue, or the red and yellow. He was more so. He was with the NWO in 2002, and he started working with The Rock. And WrestleMania 18 will go down as a lot of people's favorite WrestleMania, but definitely I know mine's, man. My favorite match of The Rock's, my favorite, one of my favorite matches of The Rock, but definitely my favorite Hogan matches. And I just wanted to say that off rips, man. Of course, with all the controversy and everything, man. So yeah, man, the man is gone, man. And if you still out here just spewing, hate on the dead, and I guess we gotta take a look, in the mirror. That's all I can say about that one, though. But you guys, man, yeah, man. Even people who weren't wrestling fans knew who Hulk Hogan was. Even before I came a wrestling fan, I knew who Hulk Hogan was. I kind of like had him mixed up as a kid, though, like Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. I was like, okay, maybe that's Hulk Hogan. I mean, this is a little simple stuff. It was like, okay, yeah. You just knew who Hulk Hogan was. He had a little wrestling buddy. He was yellow, had the the red headband on him and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah. But other than that, not too much of a Hulk Hogan fan. So yeah, people who are not wrestling fans definitely know who they are, man. Okay. Before we get definitely into SummerSlam predictions, man, because we got some matches that we're gonna definitely be going over for SummerSlam this coming weekend. And I was mentioning WWE got a new show out, man. WWE got a new documentary out, and it's on Netflix called WWE Unreal. Now, of course, I've seen a couple of people, talking about it, and got mixed feelings on it, and people talking about kayfabe is dead. Now, if you ask me, I believe kayfabe been dead a long time ago. Probably when the internet probably came about, and probably even before then, where the curtain was pulled back. We all remember the infamous curtain call between Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kevin Nash, when the guys were leaving to go to WCW and stuff like that. So it's been numerous of times where the curtain has been pulled back, but not to this extent in this documentary, WWE Real, where they take you inside the whole production. I mean, actually they take you inside the writer's room, where they discuss of, hey, what's going down for tonight. Actually, they even, have a scene where Rhea Ripley is talking with Damian Priest, literally going over her entire matchup before she faces Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship, and that was that Raw on Netflix debut. So it's a couple of stuff that I was, seeing my guy, I know Sir Wilkins from the Java Tears podcast, and a couple of other people who was just like, yo, I can't believe they actually like showing this or telling this though. In a way, I viewed it as a couple of ways though, and for the actual wrestling fans, if you like wrestling or you like WWE in a way, you're gonna watch it, like you're gonna watch it because it has WWE on it, and it's a documentary. And WWE, man, they do documentaries real well. And I said to my fiance the other day too, cause man, back in the days, man, when them stores was open, what was one of them daggone stores? I can't even remember. But when DVDs was a thing. Yeah, when DVDs was a thing before everything went digital, I go pick up, oh, Kevin Owens got a new DVD. Randy Orton got a new DVD. The first DVD that you put in would be actually like the documentary Joan. So mainly that's the reason why I got or had so many, wrestling DVDs. Okay, yeah, so many wrestling DVDs because of the home video documentary side of it, though. So, this was, great far as it. Yeah, I haven't seen the fifth episode yet. Saw the first five episodes. Is more? It's more? Like they gonna like put out more? It's like I saw the first five, but yeah, I haven't seen the fifth episode just yet. Hell, even Triple H talking to Jay Uso, talking about how they're gonna put the Rocket on to push him, all this stuff like that, man. And yeah, WWE does documentaries really well, but I would say that I feel as though if you're really not like a wrestling fan, I want to say this is a great way. In a way, I don't want to say a great way, but this is a cool way to introduce you to WWE, especially if you had the mindset all along, like, oh man, ain't these guys ain't really doing nothing. It's like, oh man, what is this? And to actually see what goes on behind the scenes and see what they put into the product is really, really definitely cool though for a non-wrestling fan, to actually see, but for myself, like I'm like a kid in the candy store. Like I like shit like this, to be honest with you though. But yeah, it does pull the curtain back a little bit. And the main thing I would say about it too is like it's like watching a magician do a magic trick, basically. If you're the magician, you don't really tell how you don't really tell how you did the magic. You just you just gonna do the magic. You watch. You don't really tell people your secret because if you tell your people, it's out of the box. You feel me? So, and I don't want to say that's a big concern because we all knew, I think what was the late '90s, maybe somewhere in the '90s, where then it got so the word got around. Was like, oh man, it's scripted. Oh, and then I believe, to me personally, when I found that out, I became even a bigger fan. I was like, dog, you bull crapping me. Like somebody literally sit around and put this stuff together. Like that's fucking cool if you ask me though. But hey, like it's really crazy though. But I just figured out like yeah, it's just like letting the magic trick out of the bag though. Obviously WWE is predetermined, and watching Bruce Pritchard, Triple H, a couple of other guys who we really don't recognize or know too much of, who's on the creative team, sit there and make decisions of who's possibly going to win the Royal Rumble, what are they going to do here, XYZ, go over the whole entire elimination chamber match and everything. So it's cool, from a certain standpoint, but I would say a little bit too much is definitely letting all the tricks out the bag. Well, 2025 more are, or 2026 more are coming, and Hunter talking to Rhea was awesome. Rhino. Okay. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, that part where Triple H was talking to Rhea Ripley after she won the Women's World Championship at the Raw on Netflix debut. Really cool how they kept the John Cena heel turn a total secret, and it was really kind of cool seeing Triple H direct all the people in the production truck to certain cameras and catch this, and nobody knew what was coming, so that was a cool part of it, really, really cool part about the documentary though. But yeah, man, this is really taking a whole lot of layers off and saying, look, this is this. And I do want to say another cool thing about it's really more cool things about the documentary than negative though. I know a lot of people are like, yo, kayfabe is dead, kayfabe. And it's 2025, man. I think kayfabe been dead a long time ago. Yeah, we want to keep the mystery or of it, and the mystique of who these people are. Even in the beginning, when they was interviewing like CM Punk, John Cena, which John Cena, I guess, yeah, I don't want to say John, but like CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Bianca, other people like that, when they was, telling them their real names, certain names they go by, their character name, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, been dead since the 90s. Agree. I definitely agree. It's just that I don't think people they wasn't ready. I think that's the word. They wasn't ready for how exposed it was going to be to the business. I think the little clips that they put out and showed on Monday Night Raw, or SmackDown, or you might have seen them on Netflix. It didn't justify like, yo, you guys are really pulling the curtain back. Not only one of my favorite parts was how they, came up with the production truck. I mean, not the production truck. Excuse me, the gorilla position. How they show, everything, how it's run, and put them, building the gorilla position and all that stuff like that. So I think that was really really cool and everything like that. So yeah, man, like I said, it's more stuff that I like about the documentary than I really don't though. So that's one of my hot take. Shadow, you still in here, man? Have you seen the documentary? I know midlife gamester, midlife gangster. Definitely seen the documentary though. Yeah, it's a cool jump, man. Really cool jump. Oh, that's what I was about to say though. Although that they, yeah, I have. Okay, yeah. Although that they focus more so like on Rhea Ripley, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Bianca, and stuff like that. I did like how Chelsea Green just made her way into it. Like most of everybody that they focusing on are really top superstars. That I mentioned. I'm still okay. Yeah, you still. Yeah. You watch LFG? Yes, I do. I am behind. I think I may only watch one episode, two episodes this latest season two, but I'm definitely intrigued all the way because the show's too good for real, for real. So I kind of like want to binge watch it instead of just waiting until a whole next week until Sunday to actually watch it though. But yeah, LFG is definitely cool though. My coach is Booker T though. My coach, I'm Booker T all the way though. I take Undertaker, I know, but he got the old school mentality. He gonna definitely, give it to you raw. No Diddy. But he gonna definitely give it to you raw. Then you got Michelle McCool, who's kind of there just because the Undertaker in a way. So I mean, also to have a female flavor on the show, as well as who else you got on the show? Bubba. I know a lot of people probably may not like Bubba, but I think Bubba, man, really he keep it straight up. Mine's is Mrs. Undertaker, Mrs. Undertaker. I think it was the first ever show had me going when Booker T was going wild because Michelle McCool stole he stole Booker T's contestants from the last season though. So yeah, man. P Nasty, I like P Nasty. The girl, I believe she was on the Undertaker's team last year. I don't know if she still is, but I believe she's on the Undertaker's wife team, Michelle McCool. But she kind of like had no neck. I don't remember her name like that, but she definitely gonna be something. Of course, you got Shadow and a couple of other people. Danny. That it probably is though. It probably is. I'll have to Google it if that's her name though. But yeah, she tall and she looked like she definitely gonna be something. So yeah, the show was dope. I dub it the new Tough Enough. It's basically the new Tough Enough without basically showing them, their I don't want to say personal life, but they don't show them like at like their own room or mingling too much. It's mainly just them, learning how to wrestle, just getting introduced into the business though. But yeah, dope show, real dope show, real dope show, man, for real. All right, man, we're gonna keep it rolling on with some wrestling hot takes, man. Okay, SummerSlam is definitely coming up, and I guess we're gonna ease our way into one of our first match predictions with this conversation. Also, I don't respond a lot because I am playing 2K25. Hey, Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, that's what's up. But yeah, yeah, with SummerSlam coming up this coming weekend, and we got a huge matchup, WrestleMania rematch, and this time the roles are reversed. You know, John Cena's still the heel, Cody Rhodes still the babyface, but Cody is not the champ. John is the champ now. So, a couple of weeks ago on Friday Night SmackDown, it was announced that, well, look, at least John Cena came out there and was like, "Yeah, man, I don't want this match. I can't do it. I'm what, pushing 50 years old. My knees hurt, my back hurt. Yeah, all that. Like, so I'm not gonna do it." And he just sort of walked away. And then Cody Rhodes was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna rock like that," and threw John Cena back into the ring. You know, you guys know what happened in between, and forced John Cena to sign his signature. If you ask me, I believe that's heel Cody Rhodes all the way. You know, I don't think John Cena's heel turn, which was fabulous the way it was pulled off, even to know that one of the plans were, and as they said in the documentary, one of the plans was to either have Kevin Owens, uh, Kevin Owens, I think, be one of the guys who sold us so, or he was supposed to defeat Cody Rhodes, something into that effect. I know Kevin Owens was supposed to play a role into that segment, but it eventually didn't, and they, of course, chose John Cena though. But yeah, man, like I think John Cena's heel turn has not lived up to the hype that it was. Now, I don't know if it has to do with this person right here. Yeah, Rocky. Which I feel like, especially coming on Pat McAfee's show 2 days after WrestleMania, and talking about how it doesn't have to culminate in a match and all this other stuff like that, and it just seemed like a story was sort of built surrounding The Rock and Cody Rhodes ever since The Rock came back and tried to take Cody Rhodes' spot at WrestleMania by taking on his cousin Roman Reigns, which did not happen, which I guess that's going to be one of the matches I guess we just never might see. But yeah, John Cena heel turns kind of like running a little stale. And some moments were great, him, mimicking CM Punk's pipe bomb promo, or, him winning his 17th world championship. And like I mentioned, also, turning heel, aligning himself, or supposed to be aligning himself with The Rock. Now, that happened. We didn't hear or see John Cena nor The Rock, well, specifically John Cena, for 3 weeks after that promo. Now, normally something to that magnitude happened, we're going to like capitalize on that. At least they would have capitalized on it, you would think, on that Monday Night Raw, but they didn't. So, and I believe John Cena was also filming a movie overseas, which played a factor into that. Okay, now we get John Cena, but we don't get no Rock. We get John Cena, but no mention of why he chose to sell his soul to The Rock. So I think that was a main key into John Cena, turning heel or his heel turn. And, we look at it now halfway through the year, and the fans are kind of like cheering John Cena and not really caring about a heel John Cena. And I think this is what Vince McMahon was ultimately talking about, a long time ago. I mean, we all was like, yo, man, turn John Cena heel, turn John Cena heel. Okay, turn him heel, then what? Please tell me, then what? Then you turn him heel, then what? Because now you turn him heel, people still cheering him. So the guy could have stayed a babyface and possibly got cheered for the, remainder of his retirement tour, correct? Like, instead, no, we going, roll the dice. We going to turn him heel. We going to flip him. And now the crazy thing about that too was, I don't think it would have definitely went on without I don't think it was been as successful, or possibly in a way successful, if John Cena appeared on that Monday Night Raw. If he appeared on that Monday Night Raw after the heel turn, I don't think it would have been impactful that it did when they were overseas, because the international crowds, man, are just a totally different breed, man. They were just totally different breed. Boo the mess out of Cena. And now it's just, every week here is like, yo, man, if it's his last time in Philly or if it's last time in Detroit or last time here, they gonna cheer John Cena, man. A lot of these people, if you grew up on John Cena, you got some favorite moments and memories of John Cena, man. So, it's kind of like hard to boo the guy that you always been cheering for, even the guy that you always been cheering for is now the heel. It don't make sense though. I think the perfect time was to turn him heel was WrestleMania 29, 2013, where he lost against John Cena and had to raise John Cena hand on the stage. That would have been the perfect time for The Rock to clothesline the hell out of him and beat the hell out of him, and yeah, that would have been that. But it didn't happen. I can see Jey Uso turning heel. Jey Uso? Yeah, I mean, Jey Uso got to stop being so blown up, if you ask me. Huh? What change? Okay, I get it. Yeah, Jey Uso? Jey Uso turning heel. That'll be really, really interesting. Just a second. Amir! Bring it here! Put it on the table. Put it on the table. Put it on the table. And go ahead. All right. Kids for you. Okay, shit. Jey Uso, man. Jey Uso gotta even stop being so blown up, man. Like, I was wondering, even this past Monday on Raw, he came to the ring. I was expecting him to come through the crowd, which a lot of people were, but my man came through the other side. He came through on the hard camera side, like. And he even said, man, yo, I'll be tired, bro. I'll be tired eating and going down all them steps and all that stuff like that. I mean, like, at some point, I don't know if it was that maybe that was the reason why they decided to take the title, because they said, man, come on, man, you can't be tired, man. We're going to put the strap on you and you be tired all the time. You can tell all of his promos, he be tired. It's just like he can't say nothing else but yeet. Can't say nothing else but yeet, bro. Like, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. But, hey, just have him come through that. I mean, it's a cool little look, coming through the crowd. Seth Rollins came through the crowd. A lot of people came through the crowd, but they could have my man come down the aisle and have to go through the crowd. It's real cool, the way it looked. But, yeah, Jey Uso turning heel. I guess, I mean, I would like to see Jey Uso. A lot of people like to see the Jey Uso who was in the bloodline, man, who was getting like fed up with Sami Zayn and stuff like that, and he was just like, yeah, that was like I'm taking no BS Jey Uso. But yeah, Jey Uso seemed more tired than anything. I don't know, but yeah, we may see him. But yo, okay, what I was saying about SummerSlam. John Cena, yeah, his heel turn not even making out to be, and Cody Rhodes has been doing some heelish things. In that same night, that he forced John Cena to sign the signature earlier that night, he in a stage attempt by Solo Sikoa to frame Jacob Fatu. Cody Rhodes just popped out in the middle of nowhere and was just like, "Yeah, Nick Aldridge, yeah, I got the contract. No concern whether it was, like whether it was gonna be something or not. Learn to, Solo just staged his own incident, try to frame Jacob. Solo looked dumb later on that night, but even if it was something going on there or wasn't, Cody Rhodes just decided to just intervene himself. I think he had the Rolex on too, and the glasses that looked similar to the ones that The Rock wore. But could we see a double turn at SummerSlam, man, between John Cena and Cody Rhodes? John Cena going back to babyface to finish out his retirement tour, and just to test the waters and see how it go, man. He never did it before, and I guess at this point, man, like, I think he's hearing Vince McMahon in his head a little bit, like, yeah, like, turn him heel. But, they still gonna cheer him. You know, like we in the we in the time where it's like the good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys, and it is real crazy though. Back in the days, man, you was the bad guy. You was the bad guy. You didn't get cheered, not one bit. You didn't get cheered. Now, if you the good guy, you get booed. You get booed for being the good guy now. So if you ain't putting a motherfucker through a table or doing something crazy, you get booed. So except NWO, I mean, but they was the bad guys and still got cheered though. I'm confused on that one though. They was the ultimate bad guys in WCW, and they still got cheered. Everyone bought their merchandise and stuff like that. You know, they was the bad guys. You know, I think when that like they name at one point, you know, they the bad guys, some shit like that. You mean 2021 Jey Uso, bro, was a different breed. He said that's what I meant. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. Yeah, the NWO, man, was definitely the ultimate bad guys, man, and they got cheered, you know. I mean, in a way, I wouldn't say DX was a, you know, they were all bad guys, but I mean, they were bad guy, good guys, you know, they go back and forth, but you got cheered more. You got cheered telling people to suck it more than anything. Like a lot of people got in trouble going to school telling somebody to suck it. Like, but we all like glorify that though. Like, right? You know, we in D. I got 2 words for ya. So it's real weird though. But yeah, could we see John Cena go back to being a babyface and Cody Rhodes actually flipping as a heel though? And you know, I brought The Rock up in this scenario because I thought it would make perfect sense. You know, Rock, you know, favorite superstar of all time, but man, he definitely pissed a lot of people off, including myself, earlier this year, not appearing at WrestleMania, and just even the interview that he had on the Pat McAfee show, it just was like, yo, that, yeah, I don't know, maybe, and then of course, like Rock right now probably feels some type of way. I know I would. Look, you had me to go out there and say WrestleMania is coming to New Orleans next year, and just a couple of weeks later, just say, oh well, you know what, WrestleMania ain't going to New Orleans at all. You know, kind of like look crazy though, but hey, though, I think we can possibly, and then it's a street fight too, so I feel like anything goes. And John Cena matches, which he been WWE champion, everything has, you know, went down. Whether it's the referee getting knocked down, whether it's John Cena knocking down the referee Charles Robinson, or whatever. Though I feel like that can possibly be a swerve. You know, we've been waiting to see The Rock since what, Elimination Chamber, right? March 1st, since the whole, you know, segment happened between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. The Rock could come down and appear, and it looks as though, you know, he's going to team with John Cena, but then flips everybody, and then, you know, Cody Rhodes wind up selling his soul, you know, because Cody Rhodes got to do whatever he got to do to win back the WWE Championship. The Rock literally said, you can have it all. You can have it all. Now, Cody Rhodes lost it all at WrestleMania, though. He lost it all. And, of course, in between, he been, you know, trying to get back to the WWE Championship. He won a King of the Ring and all this stuff like that. But, yeah, I think that could possibly be a thing at SummerSlam, man. Could we finally get The Rock coming back, aligning himself with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, man? Because I think that'll be something else, man. That'll definitely be something else, especially if, you know, what Rock said, man, look, it don't have to culminate into a match. Look here, we've been waiting for The Rock versus Cody Rhodes since last year's SummerSlam, and we ain't even get it. So the fact that The Rock lined himself with Cody Rhodes, I guess, would fit into all the bullshit he said, you know, in the interview. Because if it, you know, I guess that'd be the only way that it don't culminate in a match, that you actually working with the guy, you know. So, but yeah, man, wrestling hot takes, man. Wrestling hot takes, for real. Another thing, man, Jey Uso, you should just make your way to the ring, just through the entrance aisle, no more through the crowd. The crowd should look dope. It was cool, but if you're gonna be tired, man, the whole damn, nah, come on. All right, all right, you guys, man. SummerSlam is going down this coming weekend, man. This Saturday and Sunday, the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. You got Cardi B. I guess she's supposed to be the host or something like that. be the host or whatever she's supposed to be doing. But yeah, and it looks like because on Monday Night on Raw, Bailey, she had the sad face. Oh, Bailey, she don't have a matchup at SummerSlam, and it been seen on social media that her and Cardi B been going back and forth. So it seems as though Bailey is going to have a segment with Cardi B at SummerSlam. I don't know what day it's going to be, Saturday or Sunday, but yeah, that's it. All right, we're going to get into the matches, man, and predictions for SummerSlam. First up, we got Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill taking on Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship, man. And WWE definitely pulled the swerve on all of us because earlier this month we had Evolution, and me personally, I thought it was definitely going to make sense for Jade Cargill, which she won the Queen of the Ring. She would go on to SummerSlam, face Tiffany Stratton. She would then win the Women's Championship, and then Naomi would come down and cash in her Money in the Bank contract and defeat Jade Cargill, which she only would probably held the belt for maybe a minute or two at that time. And, Naomi becomes champion, throwing it back in Jade Cargill's face after attacking her and all this stuff like that, But no, WWE pulled a switcheroo, man, and had Naomi cash in at Evolution. And I will say, ever since she cashed in, or at least, this whole new character of hers, man, it's been the best Naomi of all time, man. I'm talking about best than the Funkadactyls, best than the Glow shit, all that. So, yeah, I'm digging it. But the matchup between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, I am definitely going with Jade Cargill. I think they're gonna keep the streak going on. Last year, Gunther and Nia Jax both won the King and Queen of the Ring. They both went on to SummerSlam and defeated their respective champions for their championships at SummerSlam. So I think Jade Cargill, the winner of the Queen of the Ring, is definitely going to defeat Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, man. Yeah. So Jade Cargill over Tiffy. And Becky Lynch has really brought the best out of Lava Valkyria. Lava Valkyria felt like, man, she was one stale character. Like, what is her personality? What did she do? Her voice is so annoying, though. I'd be honest with you. I mean, both of them are Irish, Becky and Lava. But I could listen to Becky. But I don't know. Maybe it's the way Lava's squeaky voice or whatever. But, yeah. All right. But Lava Valkyria defeated Bailey 2 out of 3 falls match. She get her rematch against Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Women's Championship, which I think this has been the best Lava has ever been. I mean, if it wasn't for Bailey and Becky going up against Lava or feuding with her, this I don't think Lava probably would have stood a chance on Monday on Monday Night Raw or whatever like that. The kid goes over on the boss. Not sure about that one though. I'm not understanding what you're saying. I got Becky. Okay, Becky it is though. Big time Bex. Yeah, I can see Becky definitely winning and retaining her Intercontinental Women's Championship. She gonna hold on to that title for a little while, man. I think the best thing for the title is Becky Lynch. Someone, and I said it, like the mid-card title needs some credibility to it. And the best way to add that credibility to it is to have someone like Becky Lynch or Bailey, which Bailey didn't win it yet. Or, one of those women, to actually win it instead of it being like a Lava Valkyria, even though she was the first one. But you had to get that title up off her, bro. Get her up off her because she ain't doing nothing with it. All right, triple threat action, women's championship, women's world championship. Rhea Ripley and Io. These two girls been going at it since what, February, March. And Naomi is added to the mix. This is kind of like a rematch in a way at WrestleMania. The only difference is it's not Bianca, it's Naomi. But Naomi defended her women's world championship against Rhea and Io Sky. I don't really think it's a guessing game in this one. I mean, Naomi is definitely on the road. I can definitely see Naomi retaining. the Women's World Championship, and Rhea Ripley and EO continues to beat the hell out of each other. I mean, they had a hell of a matchup at Evolution, which obviously got interrupted by Naomi, who cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase. But one thing I will say, which I think I'm gonna try to go into the next match with that if I can find the graphic, which I don't actually see it at the moment. But Charlotte, man, I got it. All right, Charlotte. One thing I think people are probably starting to like about Charlotte is that Charlotte is not making it so much of her identity. Like, okay, all I do, and she even talked about it in the documentary, on the Unreal documentary. Like, Charlotte is who Charlotte is. Charlotte goes out the championships. Charlotte wins the big matches. She wrestles in WrestleManias. That's what Charlotte does. She's Ric Flair's daughter or whatever like that. And people, was like, man, people tired of her. Like, yo, you a 14-time women's champion. Every match, of course you will be a 14-time women's champion if every fucking match you in is for the title, which is crazy. And you don't really have no personality outside of being the champion. Like, that's all you are, is just a champion. And now the fact that this, it goes back even to prior to WrestleMania, where Tiffany Stratton said something about her real life situation with Andrade and that she couldn't keep a man. And, and then she was on, I forgot what, Sherry Shepherd or something like that. And she was talking about her real life situation. But, it just, when all you identify yourself as just a champion, and then when you don't have the champion, then what are you then? So it was kind of cool that they stuck Alexa Bliss and Charlotte together to kind of like, throw them together and let's see what it worked. And even Charlotte was saying, like, man, look at, I'm the superstar. I'm not in tag teams. So Alexa Bliss kind of like, bring her down, kind of like made her eat her own words in a way. Like, I feel like Rhea Ripley should do that. Rhea Ripley is a massive star. She get like the biggest reactions, probably more than the men every single week. Like if it ain't Roman Reigns, she probably getting the biggest reaction though. But I want to see Rhea Ripley do something similar to Charlotte. Like focus on a good story, like something like a good story that she could tell that bring out who Rhea Ripley really is, rather than she's just the eradicator and she's gonna riptide somebody and win the championship. So yeah, I got Naomi for that one. I know that was kind of like a long explanation though, but yeah, I said Rhea Ripley. I mean Naomi. I think I said Naomi. All right. Yeah, Naomi on that one though. But speaking of Charlotte, Charlotte is definitely teaming with Alexa Bliss to take on Roxanne, and Raquel Rodriguez though. I definitely these are two teams who were sort of like hey, we gonna make this shit work though. I mean, Charlotte, single competitor, Alexa Bliss, she's back now. And then you got Raquel teaming up with Roxanne, who sort of was thrown in this. I don't want to say this. It sort of fit the way it was going. With Finn Balor trying to throw Roxanne to Dirty Dom, and Dirty Dom is with Liv, but now Liv is injured now. So Raquel and Roxanne seem like they're going to work together as a tag team, and we don't know all the way is if Charlotte and Alexa Bliss is going to do the same. But I got Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez retaining for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam. Okay. All right, man. They had me cracking up on SmackDown. I think Drew McIntyre called Jelly Roll. It was It was something, man. It was something in the comments. Shout out what it was. Something he said on Friday was crazy though. I think it was Logan Paul who said it. Okay, but yeah, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll, which Jelly Roll lost a bunch of weight just to be in this matchup at SummerSlam. Man, I guess he caught the wrestling bug. But yeah, I necessarily got Randy Orton and Jelly Roll winning this. It's probably not the most it's not the popular opinion of actually who wins this match. Drew McIntyre don't need to be in this match at all. Not saying Logan Paul doesn't, but Logan Paul makes a lot of people look good. Logan Paul, man, come in and dog, he seemed like he been wrestling forever. Just a YouTuber, influencer. He got it. He definitely got, especially being a heel, because they, I guess all the people in the boxing world, and they hate Logan, the Pauls, Logan Paul, Jake Paul. So yeah, it works out best for Logan though. But Drew McIntyre, like, my man is a beast, and why he's not in the world championship picture, that's a crime. It really is. We're gonna have to figure that out. It's gonna be a first 48 episode. All right, man, yo, SmackDown Tag Team Division is on fire. We got 6 teams that's gonna throw down at SummerSlam, which SmackDown, man, was sort of dropped at WrestleMania. We only had the New Day and the War Raiders at WrestleMania for the World Tag Team titles. And I was scratching everybody's head like, yo, man, why the SmackDown tag teams are not on SmackDown? I mean, on WrestleMania on the card. And it was also going to be a TLC match. Like, why is that on a SmackDown after WrestleMania? Like, that didn't make sense. Like, what? But now we get it, man, at SummerSlam. This coming weekend, man, we're going to get DIY. Let's bring up the graph and get all the teams right up. We're going to get into that match, too. We're going to definitely get into that one. We got DIY, Andrade and Ray Phoenix, which, they've been a cool tag team lately. You got Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, the Wyatt Six, and Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins and the Street Profits. It's going to be a dope match. It's going to be a dope match. And you talk about Fraxium. You talk about Andrade and Ray Phoenix. Not to mention Montez Ford, who's kind of the flyer guy. And the Street Profits. These guys are definitely going to be doing something crazy in the TLC match, though. So you say you got the Wyatts retaining? Okay. Yeah, I don't think the Wyatts are gonna lose that one at all. They just won the tag team titles not too long ago, so yeah, I see the Wyatts retaining, man. I don't even care who wins the match. I'm just excited that the guys from SmackDown, the tag team division, actually getting a huge opportunity at the big pay-per-view this year, and which I feel like they were snubbed from WrestleMania. So whoever wins this match, whether it's the Street Profits, which I hope they don't win because I want something new with the Street Profits, whether it's Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Andrade and Ray Phoenix, I'm all cool with it. Even the Wyatts retaining, I'm so cool with it. So probably not Street Profits though. I know that seemed kind of crazy though, but yeah. Okay, yeah, but the Wyatt Six definitely got them winning. All right, Solo Sikoa, man, Jacob Fatu may dog walk you ass, man. I don't know. Y'all know what I mean? We gonna figure it out. Still cage match for the United States Championship. Solo Sikoa taking on Jacob Fatu. Man, I would love to say Jacob. But Solo's winning. Solo is winning. It's a steel cage match. You don't have to pin him. You just have to escape the cage. And it's really going to be like a 4-on-1. You may get Jimmy Uso come down there to try to help out, Jacob. But I don't think that is going to last too long. But yeah, I see Solo Sikoa winning this, by outside interferences. It's going to be a great match. We might see a Rikishi. What was that? Was Rikishi Splash? I think that was at Fully Loaded in 2000. I'm not sure. King of the Ring or Fully Loaded. One of them two. I can see Jacob Fatu doing that off the top of the cage though. I can definitely see that happening. Definitely. All right, man. What we got here? Dominic Mysterio going 1-on-1 against AJ Styles. AJ Styles has prayed to get Dominic Mysterio cleared, and he's cleared, and they're going to be going at each other for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. Dirty Dom has been another guy who won the Intercontinental Championship and just haven't really done much with it. He won it at WrestleMania, haven't really had too many defenses. EO defended at Mania, no defenses after that. Julia won her United States title the night before Night of Champions, Night of Champions. She haven't defended. We haven't seen her in a little bit, so I'll just be confused, man. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with AJ Styles on this one. AJ, I'm hearing rumors that possibly John Cena can go after AJ, which I'm all cool with it because I was preferring John Cena to go after the Intercontinental title more than him winning his 17th World Championship. But hey, John got the 17th title under his belt. That's good. AJ Styles winning. I also had a prediction him going to TNA and possibly, defending it there. Maybe that might go or not. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm definitely going with AJ Styles. AJ Styles, agree. Hopefully Apollo. Are you serious, man? Apollo Crews? Last time I seen Apollo Crews, he was minding his own damn business. That's probably why he's on the injury reserve list right now. Jacob must win, in my opinion. Yeah, but I think what they did was, what's the next pay per view after this? This is SummerSlam. After this is Clash in Paris. I think Clash in Paris would be nice to get Jacob to win the title back because I think the crowd in Paris, France is going to be insane. And we all remember the crowd in Lyon, France was insane. I got a strong feeling that one's going to be crazy. And the reason why I say Solo is because Solo's the heel. Jacob Fatu, he did win a title at first. And then, of course, Solo, had some new members of his family tree get involved. And, Solo won the title. And I think with taking the title from a hot guy like Jacob Fatu, all you do is just add fuel to the fire. People are just going to be more invested into seeing Jacob Fatu get his hands on Solo. So, whether he wins or don't win, especially if he don't win at SummerSlam, Jacob Fatu, he's still going to be hot. He's going to probably be even more hotter. And then when he finally do get his hands on Solo, Sikoa is going to be crazy, though. So, yeah, I want Jacob to win, but I feel like it's going to be Solo. AJ did make an appearance. Yeah, he made an appearance. So, I don't think that was just for nothing. So I don't know. I don't think that was just for nothing. Like, okay, yeah, I'm stopping here in TNA, a Slammiversary. I was hearing he's supposed to have a matchup with Kazarian, but that never happened. But we gonna see. We'll definitely see. All right, man, we got another matchup, man. Karrion Kross is going to be working his second premium live event of the year. He wrestled Sami Zayn at Night of Champions, came up short. Going to be taking on Karrion Kross, and this should be fun as well. If Karrion Kross wins, Sami Zayn must say the words Kross told the truth. And if Sami wins, I think Kross said he just go away. You just, leave it all alone. But yeah, man, I'm rooting for Karrion Kross all the way. I think this would be awesome for him. This would be awesome for maybe possibly a Sami Zayn heel turn. Who knows? But the way Karrion Kross has been delivering, and it was kind of funny too. Triple H did make a statement in the documentary. Oh man, if the crowd, if a superstar blows up and the crowd get behind him, we have no choice to get behind him. Well, what the fuck y'all doing with Karrion Kross then? That's crazy though. Like, that's crazy. Because Karrion Kross had the viral the promo on a podcast show or whatever. That you guys didn't include him in the WrestleMania for probably 20 seconds that he was involved in the AJ Styles match. Push the dude, man. Come on. But yeah, Karrion Kross all the way, man, all the way. Okay, man. Tag team action. Braun. We got both of the Brauns in the building. Braun, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker taking on Mr. Yeet Man and the OTC Tribal Chief. This should be a fun match, man. And another wrestling hot take in a way, man. Who is the third member? Now, what was it? A couple of months ago, I think it was back in May, I want to say. They did that Saturday night's main event, and we was all trying to figure out who's the third member of this group with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. And it became announced it was Bronson Reed. Now that Seth Rollins is out, and we don't know when he's going to be back, but he's going to hold on to the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker said he always got a plan. And he sort of had a plan on Monday night to lay out Jay and Roman Reigns. Now, does that plan also happens at SummerSlam where they maybe bring in a third member? Because if it just stays uh Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, you got Paul Heyman. He's not physical. He's just a manager. I feel like they'll get the short end a lot. Like the baby faces are definitely going to come out, and you want the heels to stand tall, but the heels got to have an advantage. It can't just be 2-on-2. I mean, it can, but ultimately, I feel like Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are probably not gonna work together. They will, but I don't think they have successfully worked together. Beyond what was it? War Games. Beyond War Games, it's not like they were the only two members on the team. They had Solo. They had Sammy on the team too. So yeah, I got Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I feel like they're gonna put the strap on Braun Breaker, and they're going to give him the massive, massive push. And I feel like, yeah, I definitely feel like that. Dom is retaining the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, I wouldn't be mad at that. I would not be mad if Dominic retained it. You know, Sami Zayn. You got Sami Zayn over Karrion Kross. Okay. They need Jimmy to keep things in control, bro. Look at it. Jimmy need to find his way on his own. Solo doing his own thing. Jacob doing his own thing. Jay doing his own thing. Naomi doing her own thing. Nia Jax doing her own thing. Roman Reigns, like everybody other member of the family is literally doing their own thing and accomplish something. I want Jimmy to actually do something on his own. They say, yo, y'all did that. Naomi won the Women's World Championship. Nia Jax champion, Queen of the Ring. Like Solo, United States, Jacob. Everybody of the Honolulu family, whatever, the whole bloodline family. That's literally want some gold. Besides Jimmy on his own. So I don't want Jimmy to just be like, oh, well, I'm there because we family. Look here. All right now. All right now. Okay. You're going to be like, man, that's family. And he ain't going to never have no gold. All right, man. We're going to move on along, man. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Gunther going one-on-one with Phil Brooks, a.k.a. Mr. Pepsi, a.k.a. Philly. That's what he was doing. Yeah, I go by this name and that name too. Yeah, CM Punk, man. I don't think CM Punk is winning the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. I think Gunther is going to continue his reign. I think the matchup between Seth and Punk would have meant so much better. Obviously, if Seth was, cleared, I think he'd be facing Roman Reigns though. But yeah, I just think the story makes sense now. But I think this is the perfect time for CM Punk to actually win because Seth Rollins is injured. Seth Rollins said, over my dead body, man, you're not going to be a world champion if I got anything to do with it. Hell, Seth might hop off his bed or couch with his crutches or whatever, just to come down and make sure CM Punk doesn't win. I don't know. I don't know. Just been hit a whole lot of back and forth. Is Seth injured? Is he not? Is he injured? Is he not? He's cashing in. Well, if he is, then what the fuck is going on there? So it's completely wild. But I don't think CM Punk is going to win at SummerSlam. I got Gunther retaining and, continue building up, Gunther, and also continue the story of CM Punk trying to accomplish a goal that he set coming back to WWE. Now, he main event WrestleMania, and he trying to win that World Championship, mainly the WWE Championship. But, yeah, I got Gunther, man. I got Gunther winning all the way. And, of course, the huge main event. Yes, I have covered all of them. Okay. Yeah, I clicked on all of them. Okay. Yeah, the huge main event. Of course, John Cena defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, man. I talked about this. Actually, I was just talking about this, too. Not too long ago. But, yeah, well, mainly more so Will The Rock show up? Will Cody Rhodes turn heel? Double turn? Yeah. Will we see the double turn in this? Will Cody Rhodes go to the bad side? Dye his hair black, and he's more so. I mean, everything is right there, right? The American Nightmare. Like, you're the ultimate good guy, but you call yourself the American Nightmare? Okay. And then John Cena turning back babyface, having The Rock be somewhat involved in all of this. Who knows, man? Pepsi Phil, yes, that's what it was. Pepsi Phil, he did say that. I was like, yeah, Pepsi Phil. Ever since I saw CM Punk, I was like, what's up with the Pepsi logo, though? Like, what's up with the Pepsi logo? Pepsi Phil. If Seth wins, if Seth isn't injured, bro going to pull off second heist of the century. He gonna pull off the second heist of the century. Yeah, that'd be crazy if he didn't. Okay, so if Seth is not injured, who does he cash in on? Does Seth Rollins cash in on Gunther, or does he? Well, no, I think it makes sense. If Punk wins, then I can see Seth Rollins cashing in. I can see Seth cashing in more so on that match more than the WWE Championship matchup with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Now, he could, because you got to think about it. Like, Rock and Seth was going at it. It's pretty, minus Roman Reigns. That's the whole night one main event of WrestleMania last year. Rock, Seth, and Cody. Like, so that's crazy in itself. But yeah, Rock, Roman, yeah, Seth and Cody. But yeah, I got him cashing in more so on CM Punk. If CM Punk win it, I got him coming down and cashing it in and stealing it from him, just because he didn't want to see him champion. But yeah, man, we gonna definitely find out. We gonna definitely find out, man. Yeah, we're gonna definitely find out this coming weekend for SummerSlam, man. Yo, before we head on out of here, man, and chill for the night. I know they got the Hall of Fame game on tonight, as well as Impact and Collision. I ain't seen an episode in Collision in a minute. I'm good. I watch Impact though. Collision, I'm good. Dynamite is probably the only thing, If they ain't really like killing it, I like my wrestling. Not just, let's have 12 wrestling matches on one show. Okay. Well, then what? Like, you gotta do something. Like, have us intrigued, anticipating stuff, and building up stuff. Not just to be having 12 matches and, super kicks up every time, Nice meeting you. See you next time. Definitely, Midlife Gamer. Appreciate it. What's your favorite game if you're still in here, though? Yeah, I need to figure out how to, once I start doing the live streaming and streaming the games, I've been playing Call of Duty World War II and just download it. Actually, I didn't download it. I could actually play it, the cloud, with, play it on the cloud on Xbox with Game Pass, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, actually 3. Yeah, them Jones be fun. But yo, man, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube, man. Appreciate everybody rocking with me, man. For real, appreciate you guys tuning in, joining the chat. I am playing Shadowgun Legends. Yeah, I'm not the biggest game. I gotta stay basic sports. Like a Call of Duty, a shooting game. Something intense. Racing game, whether it's that Need for Speed or the other junk that they got, wrestling, football, basketball, and stuff. So yeah, man. Hey, definitely make sure you subscribe, man, to the 11:30 podcast. Obviously, you like wrestling. You was in the chat, man. Appreciate it. You coming along to the 11:30 podcast, and stay notified, man. We go live every Monday and Friday for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. So we'll be back at it tomorrow night, pre-SummerSlam, getting ready for this coming weekend. And of course, we'll be live streaming. So definitely make sure you like, follow, and share. like, follow, share, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe once again right here to the 1130 podcast on YouTube, man. If you're watching on Twitch, definitely make sure you hit a follow and follow all the 1130 podcast social media channels, man, for real. All right, man. Now that's out the way, man. I'm about to head on out of here. It's been a cool show. Really cool show. Appreciate everyone once again, man. Yo, until next time, man, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Stay safe, stay blessed. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, tell a friend, man. For real. And I'm out. Peace.